on, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com. You have to admit, the myTouch line is a pretty popular Android line on T-Mobile. You have the myTouch 3G, the myTouch 3G Slide, the myTouch 4G. What do you think is going to come after that? Well, you guessed it, the myTouch 4G Slide. It's available, or it's going to be available, rather, on July 19th. Through a special web-only pre-sale and available in stores on July 27th for $199.99 after a $50 mail-in rebate. Now this bad boy's packed. They've really worked and reworked the internals on this device. So it's not just a myTouch 4G with a keyboard. It has a dual-core 1.2 gigahertz processor, 8 megapixel camera, which HTC and T-Mobile are touting as one of the most advanced cameras on a smartphone ever. So you have Android 2.3, HTC Sense 3.0, and then of course, not to be forgotten, you have that nice physical QWERTY keyboard as well. Is this a device for you, or should you go with something like the G2X or the Sensation? Two very awesome devices in their own respects. We'll find out that and more in PhoneDog's review of the HTC T-Mobile myTouch 4G Slide. But first, special thanks to our friends at Best Buy. They always hook us up with phones like this and all kinds of goodies for use during one-paw bandit games. So when you walk into Best Buy Mobile to get this or to get the Droid 3 or any device, you'll walk out working. They'll help you set up your email, your web, and more, so you're taken care of when you walk out that door. Now, is this a phone for you? We'll find out. Let's continue on and look at the hardware a little bit on this device. First of all, on the left side, you'll see the volume rocker, micro USB charging port down there at the bottom. On the top, 3.5mm headphone jack and power button. And then over here, you have your camera shortcut button. Now, if you watch my videos on a regular basis, you know how much I love that physical camera button, and it really aids this camera, which again, T-Mobile's touting as the most advanced camera on any smartphone. So you have the camera, the dual LED flash, and it's nice to have the stabilization that comes from being able to hold it and take a picture with a physical camera button. So that is a nice touch. So you can see down here your 4 physical buttons instead of capacitive ones, with an optical trackpad down here where you can scroll back and forth, and then of course your front-facing camera up there. So design-wise, looks good. Let's take a look at the 8 megapixel camera and do some tests with it. Let's bring in something. Let's think here. Actually, I'll bring in excuse me, a little press release here, so you can see what it looks like. And actually, yeah, we'll do that. We'll bring it in like that, and then we'll take a picture of this. We'll do done. And then there are a bunch of different camera options you have where you can change the camera, whether you want the front or the back camera. You can turn on the camcorder. You can turn on the flash. Then, of course, you have all of your settings as well. Self-timer, effects, resolution, review duration. You can geotag the photos and more. So let's go in here and take a look at this text, for example. And you can see how it auto-focused in right away, so I can bring it right back out, and you can see, watch it auto-focus with a little circle, and then bam, as soon as I take that picture, and I'm zoomed in pretty close, like that's going to be, you know, say right there, for example. I'm going to zoom in on the text. That's a pretty impressive zoom. So you can see, we'll take a picture of that, and then we'll go back to the gallery so you can see that is quite the impressive zoom. So it is definitely one of the better cameras on the market. It's one of the best Android cameras, if not the best one that I've worked with. That said, does it compare to the iPhone? Well, you'll find that out in a dogfight, but I think it's a fantastic camera. And if you're looking for a device and cameras on top of your list, you need something with a good camera for those shots, be it, you know, you're traveling on vacation or you want something of that nature, you know, you take a lot of pictures, this may be your device. Very fast shutter, virtually no shutter lag. You have a couple of different options in the camera. You have clear shot HDR, and that's for capturing objects in bright settings. You have burst shot for capturing multiple photos in a quick burst, and then you have sweep shot for capturing ultra-wide panoramic shots as well. So you have a bunch of different options, really improved in the camera department, and they're proud of that, and it is an impressive camera to boot. So you have that, and then of course you want to activate your camcorder. All you have to do is go down here, I'll show you, go down to camcorder and activate from there. Now this one, as I'll show you, you can see it shoots all the way up in full HD, 1080p, so you can shoot 1080p HD videos with this device as well. So very, very cool there. Let's run a quadrant standard test on this to see, 1.2 gigahertz dual core Snapdragon processor. And keep in mind, take quadrant standard with a grain of salt, but still, this should be pretty impressive in the processing department. So we'll load up quadrant standard here, and we'll say thank you for using it. Sure, run full benchmark. And I'll talk to you a little bit about the call quality. Overall call quality has been pretty impressive on this device. The earpiece is nice and loud. I found that the signal strength is relatively decent. Like I said, I've been having data issues, so I'm not going to be able to do a speed test in the video because T-Mobile's data is cutting in and out. I'm not sure, again, if it's a network outage issue or if it's something with this particular device, if they provisioned it incorrectly, added a wrong feature code, whatever. I'm reaching out to them, and we'll find out more. That said, T-Mobile's overall coverage is very good in the Charlotte metro area, and I've had no dropped calls. I took it to a dead spot in northeast Charlotte yesterday and did not have a problem making a call, despite it was a little bit choppy, but no problem holding the call, which was very, very nice on the phone's part. So all in all, call quality very good. Again, 1,520 milliamp hour battery with moderate use, text messaging, emailing, calling. You're going to make it through the day, and early reports of battery life have been very positive. So you can see quadrant standard here, 1,924. Again, excuse me. Be sure to take it with a grain of salt. That's really not indicative of day-to-day performance, but in the benchmark department, it is right up there with some of the other dual-core devices like the Evo 3D and the Sensation. Still behind the dual-core Wonder device, Galaxy S2, which was up in the 3,200, 3,300 range on a regular basis in quadrant standard. So something to keep in mind. Let's take a look at some of these pre-installed T-Mobile applications. I always love to take a look at T-Mobile TV, and you can see here we'll go in and we'll accept it, and we'll do, of course, our got to do it over a cellular network, which unfortunately data isn't working, so I'm not going to be able to show you that. What else can I show you on this device? We can look at Netflix, for example, just to give you an idea of what the overall application looks like. It comes with Netflix out of the box. We'll update that, and we'll get that installed, but it does come with that application on the device out of the box. Looks like it needs an update as well, so keep that in mind if you do buy the device. But it's installing now. We'll get that installed, and we'll load it right up here. Let's see, installing now. Successfully installed. There we go. So let's run the sucker and take a look at it, just so you can see if we can see something before the login screen. Okay, so I can't see anything past the login screen, but you can see it does have Netflix pre-installed. There is no HDMI port on this device, though, so you're not going to be able to stream to your TV. So if you have something like the Revolution, for example, on Verizon that does have that HDMI port, you can be in a hotel room, kick on Netflix. If you have an HDMI cord, you can plug it into the TV in the hotel room, and you're good to go. You can watch your movies to your heart's content. Not so on this one. You do not have the HDMI port. So that's something to keep in mind. Still, you can watch on the mobile front. That said, T-Mobile is one of the 3 carriers that implemented tiered data. So keep that in mind. You can easily run over that 2 gigabyte 4G data speed that they reference, or if you're on an older plan, 5 gigabyte cap. So something to keep in mind. Netflix, streaming, anything streaming like that is going to run through relatively quickly. But all in all, this is a good device. Is it a successor, a great successor to the myTouch 3G Slide? Absolutely. It improves in almost every single way. The hood, under the hood, performance is much better. 1.2 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon. They've improved the keyboard. They've improved the display a little bit. Better camera on an 8-megapixel camera, and it's a great camera at that. 0 shutter lag. All these different features to help you take pictures better. Front-facing camera, and it just looks good to boot with a 1,520 milliamp hour battery. It definitely competes with the G2X and the Sensation. It's all going to depend on what you need. If you need that physical QWERTY keyboard, you like HTC Sense 3.0, and you like the myTouch version of Sense 3.0, this is obviously going to be your device. If you want something that's just sheer speed, the G2X is going to be your device. If you want something that's absolutely beautiful in the design department, well, the Sensation 4G would still be #1 in my book, but this is definitely a close second. It looks good. The chrome edges are a nice touch. And all in all, I think anybody that bought this device would be very pleased. Much more coverage to come on PhoneDog.com. With the T-Mobile myTouch 4G, we'll have dogfights between this. I'm really seeing a dogfight between this and the Motorola Droid 3, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, be sure to like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/PhoneDog. We're giving away tablets galore. It's part of our greatest tech giveaway ever. We're giving away Apple iPad 2s, Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1s, HP touchpads, and Asus transformers. So be sure to take a look at that. Facebook.com/PhoneDog. Enter the game, and be sure to follow me on Twitter as well, PhoneDog_Aaron, and on Facebook at Facebook.com/PhoneDogAB. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.